Good
All right.
afternoon. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
So,
Yeah.
Christine, tell us, how was your morning? What did you do today?
My morning. So I woke up this morning. I had some breakfast. Well, I fed the baby, had some breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Baby had breakfast. Cleaned up after breakfast.
Oh,
I had another webinar at 10. Then I cleaned up again. It's like pretty much my job as a mom.
okay.
and got lunch ready, had lunch. Here I am doing a couple more webinars, and then it'll
Wow.
be just a rip roaring Friday night after that.
Absolutely. You've already accomplished many achievements today by doing so
mm,
many
mm.
things.
Many, many tasks, but
Absolutely. And
minimal
welcome,
tasks.
Lavinia, to the lesson.
Yeah.
We've had you
I mean, yeah.
before, actually. I've seen you a few times, actually, on our webinars from Milan. How are
Great.
you today, Lavinia? Remind us, what's your job
Yeah.
again? So, welcome to the lesson, of course.
hmm
So, just a quick introduction. If you don't remember, I'm Paul and I'm from Ireland. And like Christine, we both live in Florence
hmm
and we work in the My English School in Via Baracca
hmm
in Florence. So
Yeah.
that's us. Anything else to say about you, Christine?
Um, I'm American.
Yeah,
I guess that's my
and I'm Irish.
distinguishing feature.
So today, guys, you have the benefit of hearing two different accents, one American
Yeah.
and one Irish.
Yes.
Yay. We have two people watching us now. So as I said, feel free to comment, whoever else is watching. Okay.
hmm
Interesting. So Christine,
Yeah.
here we're talking about achievement.
Mm.
What is your biggest achievement?
Wow. Just out with a bang. Big question from the get go there.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest achievement in life, I guess. I don't know if you can call it an achievement, becoming a mom, but
For sure.
it's a big thing.
No, I think
Um,
so. An
yeah,
achievement is your kid.
yeah. Other achievements I've had that I care about that are important to me. I've run 2 half marathons in the past. The Florence Half
Wow.
Marathon. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Lavinia. Everything is fine. We just say the auxiliary verb. Working out helps a lot of my psychological part. Oh, for sure.
Mm.
We were talking about exercise today and the importance of just trying to be as active as you can. And I teach Spanish. Oh, very good. In an
Cool.
IT company. Cool. Excellent.
Nice.
Hablamos en español, por favor. No. We teach in English. But I do love speaking Spanish, Lavinia. I was in Spain for 2 years. I was in
Cool.
Granada. So just your capital. Okay, in Italian and in Spanish, you don't use capital letters, but in English we do for
With the
nationalities.
languages and
Yeah.
nationalities. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
So Lavinia, feel free to respond to any of our questions today. Can you tell
Mhm.
us about one of your biggest achievements? Maybe learning Spanish, or are you Spanish? Lavinia, I mean, is that an Italian name?
Yeah, yeah.
Lavinia?
It's definitely an Italian
Okay.
name. But Rubino, I don't know. That's an interesting surname.
Sounds like Brazilian, Robino. It depends.
I
But
don't know.
yeah, feel free to tell us more about you. Are you Spanish? Are you maybe from South America, or are you Italian? Lavinia
Hmm.
sounds like an Italian name. I'm not
Yeah,
from Italy, unfortunately. I wished I
me neither.
was.
Yeah,
Paolo, maybe.
Paolo.
Interesting. Yes.
And
Okay.
I would be
Ah,
Christina.
so here we have some questions. So I
Mm.
guess we'll just respond.
Yeah, so
So,
Paul, how do people become successful? Tell us. What does
hmm.
it take? What does it
Ah,
take to be successful? Hmm.
Our name's from Sicily. Okay. Welcome,
Oh,
Sicily.
okay.
Oh,
Cool.
Sicily, I adore Oh, wonderful. Okay. So guys, Blockbuster, how, as I said, Lavinia, if you can respond to the questions and to any other new viewers who have joined us, write your answers to the questions. Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
how do you become successful?
Mm,
Dedication and motivation are my two words.
mm. Okay. Okay. I will say mine. I think consistency
Uh-huh.
and grit.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So I think a lot of activities in life, you might be motivated for a period of time and be really, really excited to do something. But when your motivation goes away, because sometimes you don't feel like doing something, right? You're not as excited about your cause, your
Mm.
goal. That's where consistency and determination come in.
Oh,
And grit, I think when things are tough, you've got to push through.
at the moment, I think we would say in English, we all need a lot of grit
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
pull through. There's a bit advanced here, but to pull through is
Yeah.
basically to
Number
make it.
13. Yeah. Great
Absolutely.
Lavinia. Her greatest achievement was getting the CAE in English. And
Oh, and the DELE. I know
nice.
the DELE exam. Oh, Christine, it is not easy.
Well
No.
done. Well done.
What DELE, Lavinia?
Hats off to you.
I'm presuming the C1, right? I have the B2. I
Nice.
did it because I just felt like it for no reason.
That's great.
Um, wow, so C1 or C2? I'm presuming if you teach Spanish, you probably need the C2. That would be incredible.
That's
It's not
cool.
an easy
Nice.
exam. No, it's not an easy exam at all. Oh my God.
I bet not. Yeah.
And Christine, do you have the official Italian? I think you.
I do not. I was going to take the exam last year, actually. That's what my plan was. So in 2018, I had started studying for the C1 exam,
Wow.
but then I got pregnant, and so I kind of put that on hold. And I still haven't taken it
Absolutely.
yet, but I'd like to take the C1 Italian exam, the CILS exam. It's called CILS.
And is there any reason like to grow or just to do it or?
Just to have something that certifies like my level, I think would be nice.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really need it for anything, but it would be nice to have.
I actually think though, I was having this conversation with some teachers. I think it's good though to put ourselves in the position of doing an exam because we
Mm-hmm.
can kind of put ourselves like in the position of our students and see,
Yeah.
the path that they take and the ups and downs. Because I really think like
Oh yeah.
it's all about motivation for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And consistency.
Yeah, consistency, and it's something that you need.
Yeah.
There were times when I was studying for the Spanish exam,
Mm,
and I thought, I'm not going to pass. I'm not going to pass. And
mm,
then I was lucky enough to pass, but I was so nervous. Oh my God.
yeah. So I think this is great segue to question number 2. How do you
Mm,
measure success? So when I think about running, I'm not like in any means like an amazing runner. When
mm,
I was in shape, I was a decent, like average runner, but nothing spectacular.
mm,
But I think measuring success can vary from person to person.
mm-hmm,
There are obviously world champions in things like running, and those
mm-hmm.
people are at the very top. But maybe your personal definition of success might be different.
Absolutely.
And I had a friend who I used to run with in Florence. She moved back to the US, unfortunately, but she was my running friend. And sometimes when she ran by herself, she would tell me, "Oh, I had a bad run today," or
Mm,
I didn't have a good day. Like I ran really slow or something like that. And I would tell her, there's no such thing as a bad run because every part of the journey is what gets you to the goal. It's not that every day is better than the day before, but every part matters, like every individual effort that you put towards something. I think, is a part of your success. So it's not just the final result that is success. I think the pathway to it is also success.
I really like your quote. Every part of the
Thank
journey is
you.
what gets you to the goal. Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting. I agree.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on success.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's really nice. It was I actually thought it was quite nice what you shared. I suppose, yeah, like we have our ups and down days. I measure
Yeah.
success when it comes to exercise. Like if I
Mm,
can, I remember what was success for me. Lavinia, I don't know if you've ever done this before. Have you lived maybe in Spain or other countries abroad? For
mm.
me, measuring success is when I do a CrossFit class and I'm the only Irish person and the rest are like Italian or Spanish, and everybody looks at me and I'm like, oh no. But for me,
Maybe they
that's
underestimate you.
no. But for me, it's a success because you kind
Mm,
of you break your comfort zone.
like you break boundaries, maybe?
You break. Sorry, yes, you step out of your comfort zone. Very yes, thank you. So you step out of your comfort zone and
Yeah.
you break barriers to
Mm,
achieve success.
definitely. I love that.
Brilliant.
I love that. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so Lavinia, if you could tell us, please, we have now 6 people watching us.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
feel free to comment. This is not the Paul and Christine show. We're more than happy to.
Although we'd love it to be that, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every week, tune in. No, but we would be very happy for you guys to participate as well. And then question 3. Ooh,
Mm.
Christine, question for you. Who's the most successful person that you know and what makes them successful?
Oh, that's a really interesting question there.
You have to think for
Um,
sure.
yeah, it's like asking who you admire also,
Mm,
right? Like who do you think is so successful? Um, Gosh, I don't know right off the top of my
mm.
head. Do you have an idea of someone who's
Yeah,
successful?
I
Yeah.
would say my mom. I know it sounds a bit cringe
Hmm.
to say, but my mom
Oh,
is
it's
very,
so
very
sweet.
successful. Just because she has her own beautician. Well, she has a beauty salon basically.
Wow, that's great.
She
Your own
has
business.
her own beauty salon and
Fantastic. Yeah.
she runs it with my aunt.
Cool.
So if I study what my mom has done, like everything that she's done, she's made a career out of her education.
Hmm.
So she's had great success. Unfortunately, now it's a bit more complicated, but hopefully
Mm.
she can
Hopefully they can come back. Yeah,
back, bounce back.
definitely.
Okay, so that's just an example of a success. She runs her business, she loves her job, and she basically,
She's a boss.
yeah, she's a boss, exactly. Any ideas, Lavinia? Could you share for us, if you're still watching, an idea of someone who is successful,
Hmm.
or what do you how do you measure success? All right.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah, what does it take to become successful? These are great questions. I'm sure
Mm,
people have different ideas as well. Mm,
okay.
yeah.
I guess people here have to read up on uh this VMO video, but we can't watch it.
Mm.
Um, we can focus on one or two of these questions, though.
Yeah.
For
The
example,
second one, for example, yeah. Definitely
okay,
question
so at least
2. Yeah.
okay, so we can focus on question 2. In
Hmm.
society, what do we tend to think success is? So, Christine,
Mm.
how would you define that?
That's a great question. I think, especially in American society, we define success as having um, like an important job, like a special
Mm,
career, and making a lot of money and having like a big house, and usually also with a family. It's like typical successful American
mm.
dream, I guess. Um,
There's that kind of quote that says the American dream. It's like anything is possible, basically.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. When I was growing up, I didn't really think that I wanted any of those like really classic things.
Mm,
And as I got towards the end of my 20s, though, I realized that I did want like a family, and that became really, really important to me. So it's funny. I think your idea of what success is can also change throughout the span of your life. Like maybe when you're
hmm.
younger, you want different things than when you get older.
What age?
Um,
What age did you kind of start thinking that you wanted to be like a mom, for example? These are kind of personal questions today, but
yeah. No, probably when I was like 29, you know,
okay.
and then I got pregnant really fast and I had him when I was 29. So it all happened really quickly, but
Mm,
I'm fortunate for that. I was happy, and
yeah. Do you
yeah.
think, I know we always ask this question, do you think having a kid kind of changes everything in terms of your outlook on life? Like, were you different before you
Yeah.
had your kid and after? In what ways have you
Yeah.
become different?
Yeah. I think you have to give up a part of your independence when you become a parent, just by
Okay.
the nature of things, that you have an extra person that needs you for everything in your
Mm,
household. And so it's like the only person that can provide those needs is
okay.
you and your partner, if you're lucky to have a partner to raise a child with. But so you kind of have to learn to balance the needs of an extra person and your own needs. So then you have to learn to prioritize those things, and when to be selfish and when to be selfless.
Mm,
Because it's not realistic to expect that you'll be selfless 100% of
hmm.
the time either, because you'll just go insane. So, um, yeah, I would definitely have changed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think as well, like, since it seems like today that we're just talking between ourselves now, although we still have three viewers.
Yeah, that's
Guys, as
fine.
I said, feel free to comment in. I'll keep reminding you because, but if we're talking about success, I guess we're sharing our own personal experiences today.
Sure.
I suppose I've defined my own success as traveling
Mm.
alone,
Mm.
and um, yeah, just every person that I've met, even in this quarantine. This sounds really weird. Last night, I actually had a dream about when I was in Brazil, and
Mm.
this is kind of going a bit off topic, but I was living in this where was I living? I was living in this place called Alphaville,
Mm.
very, very posh. De los Dos Lagoas. It's Portuguese with my terrible Spanish accent on top of it. Alphaville de los Dos Lagoas. And
Okay.
I guess I kind of got the best of both worlds between success and failure.
Mm.
And I was reflecting today on how unfortunate some people are.
Mm.
Um, because I
So
remember
true.
specifically living in this big, big mansion, and um, all of the kind of whiter skinned people were kind of the upper class, and all the darker skinned people were the lower class.
Mm,
and I remember seeing like it was kind of disgusting just to see like the because of the colonization,
yeah,
like the
the
people who were
discrimination
working,
there.
yeah, the discrimination and people who were working as like maids and servants. It was
Yeah,
pretty disgusting actually, but
for sure.
I guess they were not really very successful. Or
Mm.
I had one student before who told me, and I'll never forget this, Christine. We were doing like present simple, and what do you do in your free time? And one of the students said, "I have my maid clean for me," and I was just like, it was hard. It was hard, honestly, to be teaching
Yikes.
these type of students. Anyway,
Cringeworthy.
no, it was terrible. It was just the way she said it. She was so proud. She was like, "I have my maid who does it for me," and I'm just like,
Ooh. She
Have you
can
ever
come
seen?
have her maid clean my house if she'd like.
Yeah. Have you ever like seen, I don't know, this type of colonization or experienced it or
um, Not firsthand like that, but I have seen lots of different forms of racism for sure.
hmm
Um, but yeah, it's kind of getting here, there, and everywhere. um,
okay. I suppose let's just respond back to question two. If we're talking about society,
mm,
do you think most people so how do you what do you think how do you think society measures success? I can't even form my own question.
definitely with if you're rich and famous. If
Okay.
you are rich and famous, those are like the classic sort of thresholds for success, I'd guess.
Yeah. But do you think that being rich is the key to achievement or success?
It's complicated. I think if you have more resources, you might be able to gain access to what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is helpful in achieving things.
Okay.
Sometimes it can definitely give you a leg up on others or an advantage. But it depends. I don't know. Depends on how
Mm.
you use those resources. Um, and some things, like even if you have all the resources in the world, if you're not talented, you might not be able to break through, and become successful.
That's true.
I don't know. It's
It
my two cents.
just in the third question,
Yeah.
what can people be successful at? So I suppose we can be successful at our jobs,
Oh, anything.
definitely.
Yeah.
Cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. You can definitely be successful. I think in certain fields, like if you're a famous or successful athlete,
hmm
or artist, or anything. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. How else would I consider that? Yeah, I think anything and everything. I mean, as long as it's a positive. Even my
Hmm.
sister called me yesterday and she said like, because I have my moments of up and down. I mean, it's difficult
Sure.
this whole situation, and she was saying like, even for your own mental health, like make a list of things that like are going well for you and not what are not going well for you. And she said like,
Yeah.
it was a valid point.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And it's funny. I almost think my experience, this is getting really personal now, but my experience
No,
with maternity leave really prepared me for this well, oddly
okay,
enough, because I had so much time just by myself where I was stuck indoors because my son was born at the beginning of summer, like May 29th. So in Italy, it gets really hot, like pretty quickly, in June. And you can't go out for most of the day because it's just too hot out for a baby.
oh god,
And
yeah.
they suffer the heat worse than adults. So it's like um, I was just stuck indoors most of the
Mm.
day for months. Um, doing, being a new mom, it was really, really difficult. And
Yeah.
I got used to being home a lot, and I got used to not being able to control when I could go out and when I couldn't, because I also had to, I was basically waiting around when it was a good moment for the baby, not for me, not when I wanted to necessarily.
Mm.
Um, and so I learned a lot through that, I think, about control and about, just independence. It's not always our choice. But I think what you're saying about like mental health and getting through this kind of a difficult thing, it's also important to change your expectations, because I took it really hard during maternity leave.
Wow.
The fact that I wasn't able to do everything that I wanted to do beforehand and be a new mom. And, like it was just, you have to change your expectations when the circumstances change. And now all
For
of us
sure.
are in really extreme circumstances. And if you have the same expectations on yourself as you had before, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
So I think, for your mental health, it's really important to just change your expectations and say, okay, today I got dressed. Great. Check that off the list. Success. Like today I talked to a friend. Great. Success. Like it doesn't have to be a big thing. Like you kind of have to lower the bar a bit.
That's interesting. Very deep. I will say, like as I said, it's nice sometimes just to kind of vent. I mean, even like these webinars, guys, for us are kind of nice. They keep us busy. And I suppose,
Yeah.
like, even if we have 3 viewers, 10, 12, 1, like, it's nice that we can just help people improve their listening skills and vocabulary and grammar. As I said,
Yeah. Yeah.
I do miss teaching a lot, even now more than
So
ever.
do
Like,
I.
we were, like, I think, for us to, like, eventually when we're back, like, it'll be so good just to see everyone again and, like, get back to that bit of normality, to
Yeah.
just, like, it's just weird, you go outside and you're like, I can't go for a run, or you just get nervous. It's weird, it's
Yeah. Yeah. It can
it's
really
mad.
build up your anxiety for sure.
But one thing, like in terms of accomplishment, I suppose, is just if I were to share another with this virus, it's just
Yeah.
appreciating. Like I live in Piazza Libertà, so I
Mm.
mean, it's right next to a river, and I never discovered this, but 2 weeks ago, when I was going for runs, when we were when everybody was kind of doing it, or when we were permitted,
Mm.
I didn't appreciate how beautiful my area is, because are you familiar do you know Giardino della Cultura?
I don't know that one specifically, but I'm up
So
there.
basically, there's like a river, and you can
Mm-hmm.
go down and you can walk, and it's so beautiful, and you've got like
Yeah.
views. I'll send you a picture of it actually after.
Yeah.
But you look at it and you're like, wow, I never appreciated the fact that I live like 40 seconds
Oh
away
yeah.
from a place where you can just go down, sit down, and like people walk their dogs. Oh, it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's great.
so like when we
Sounds
have
lovely.
access, no, when we have access to that again, I'm going to be there. Like I can see myself just reading a book.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, like, and even the simple things as well, I suppose
Definitely. Yeah.
you learn. Um, okay, so yeah, that was, I suppose, something personal as well. Um, okay, there is a question, Christine, here, and it says, why would it be difficult for a person to succeed at many different things? Oof.
Mm. This is a really good question for me, because I am one of those people that tries to be good at everything.
I actually see
So
that in you.
I want to be good at this, and so I sort of like put a lot of my attention into one thing, and I can get really distracted and want to do everything. Um, and it's always with the best of intentions, but I think the answer is simple to me, that it's difficult to succeed at too many different things, because you can't give your attention to everything. Everyone has a limited amount of attention, energy, time. And so, if you spend your time doing 10 things well in one day, you're going to be pretty exhausted. It's not impossible, but it's going to use up a lot of your energy, your time, and your resources. But if you spend your time doing 3 things well, you're doing better probably than if you're doing 10. That's just my take. I don't know.
No, I agree. Little steps. You can't do too many things at the same time.
Sure.
I 100% agree with you. Why would it be difficult for a person to succeed at many things? I suppose, again, this is something personal, but it's I had a student before in my English school in Palermo. Obviously, I won't say the name. The student had autism. And one of my biggest achievements, I would say, as teaching was I was living with another teacher called Joe, but he's not, unfortunately, he had to leave my English school because of certain circumstances. So he left, but he was always like very passionate about language learning, and especially with people who have learning difficulties like autism or also dyslexia. So he was kind of saying that, like, in order to help people with dyslexia understand like how to form a verb, you do it like on a whiteboard. I wish I had a whiteboard now, but you do it in like a step. So imagine this is like the verb to be. I am running, like, at the moment. If you draw it on a step pattern and you put like the subject verb, it just helps them kind of see the.
Interesting.
I never thought of it that way, but it was really wonderful, like, to see how passionate he was about, like,
That's great.
learning.
Yeah.
And
sure.
one of my best achievements was I remember I had this one specific student every week, and I had such a wonderful relationship with the student. And the student was, I think, well, I love the parents because the mom like set her up for individual lessons, and eventually me and the student had like this kind of good connection, and I kind of wanted to push the boat a little bit with the student, and we had a focus activity, and I was asking my DOS, I was like, can we please like put the student in with like 2 other students just to see how she does. And we did a lesson on like at the restaurant or something, and literally it was me and the 3 students who were doing the focus, and I saw the student, and okay, I'm gonna say she because it's hard to I'm not gonna say the name. She was like having the most fun, like she was laughing so much. She couldn't even concentrate in the language. It was like a 6 to 7 at the restaurant or something. But what I loved about the other 2 students as well in when I was teaching this lesson in Libertad was they were really active. They knew that she had maybe learning difficulties, but they really made her feel included. And then later, the mom called the school and said that she had like a really good lesson. And for me, like, it was a nice little achievement.
Of course,
as well, like the staff as well in the Libertad school in Palermo were fantastic with her, because like, they always were kind of like, welcome to the, they made her feel like kind of part of the furniture, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was a major success for sure.
Great.
Or achievement. Anyway, that's me. Waffling on. Excuse me. Waffling. Putting down any extra vocabulary for guys. Waffling is basically extending your story. Interesting. Do you have any success stories, Christine, in terms of teaching? Like, can you remember certain students that maybe you don't want to name, but that were?
Yeah. Actually, a story that's like quite similar. I taught a group of teens in which there was a boy, 16-year-old boy who is autistic, and his mom is also a student at the school. And I sort of worked with her to try and figure out what was the best way we could bridge his learning, how we could assist him more. And I went to the extra step like every week of like trying to create extra notes for him and print things off the week before for him so that he could look at
Mm-hmm.
it before and he was prepared each time. I gave him just space in each lesson to absorb what was happening, but not like put him on the spot. And he eventually got like a good grade in his regular school in English as well. Because I don't know if you know, they do like interrogations. Is there like
Okay.
daily testing here? You have like an oral test in high schools and in middle schools as well. And he got like a decent grade in one of those. And she came and like thanked me personally, and I got really emotional over it. I started crying. I was so happy.
Yeah,
That he
it's
was
nice.
happy too, you know?
Yeah, it's nice when you can kind of personally relate to students like that. It
Yeah.
becomes it is kind of like it is wonderful actually. It's a really nice story.
Yeah.
And do you still stay in touch with the student or?
The student isn't at the school anymore, but his mom is still a student at the school, and we chat before and after lessons, and she tells me how he's doing, and
Yeah.
so that's good. Yeah.
Do you feel attached to like certain students or like certain
Oh
groups?
yeah, definitely, definitely. I always feel sad whenever I realize that students aren't coming anymore because they've probably just finished their course,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
miss
yeah.
students from the past. I just
Oh yeah, I mean we
yeah,
you come across so many,
spend
but
a lot of time together.
me and you though, we both have this personal love for teaching levels 1 to 3. It's like it's
Yeah,
something
it's true. They're just the most fun.
they are. It's like teaching. I think one day I saw you doing YMCA, or there was something in the background. I couldn't focus. I was like, "What in the name of God is happening there?" But like,
Yep, that's how I teach the letter Y. Everybody knows YMCA, Village People.
yeah. But the best thing is like when you see like lower levels and they can actually like use a bit of the presence and we're like, yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite level to teach? And what's your
Oh,
biggest achievement from teaching? Like,
those levels. Definitely, probably the sweet spot is like 3, 2 to
okay.
3.
Okay.
Um,
Do you know any
but
success?
I've also taught students in level 1 that had to repeat lessons for months that couldn't pass level 1,
Mm,
and they're absolute beginners. And now I see them in like level 5, level 6,
mm,
and it just warms my heart because I was a part of that earlier
mm.
on.
Yeah, you've been teaching in my English school for how long? 4 years? 5?
No, not quite. I guess I started at the beginning of 2017, so
Okay.
about 3, going on 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice. So you've been there a while actually.
Yeah, yeah. Well, plus, in there was a maternity leave, but
Yeah, but I mean, and
yeah.
ha I'll ask you another question. Have you changed your style of teaching since you've come back? Or
Honestly,
do you think
no.
it was okay, so you
It
didn't
was
really
pretty
change your
seamless.
approach? Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a really good groove with the students before, and when I came back,
Hmm.
it was like riding a bike. I just remembered everything and
Yeah,
remembered
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people's names as well, and people remembered me and asked me how my baby was. It was sweet.
Okay. Well, that always helps. And okay, because sometimes like as a teacher, do you think like you could maybe change your approach, or I suppose everybody has their ways, but
I think there's always room to improve. I'm definitely of the mindset that I would love to improve on any way that I can.
mm,
Um, but at least with like the way that I teach now, I feel pretty comfortable with what I do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, you've nice board writing anyway. That's one thing I'm quite jealous of.
Thanks.
I like writing like all the
I
different
miss not
colors.
having a chalkboard.
Yeah, me too. I wish I just had
That's my
one.
right-hand man in a teacher
Yeah.
English setting. It's my chalkboard.
All right, moving on. So to okay, so here are just some answers. So maybe we can go through like some
Yeah.
vocabulary for
Hmm.
people watching after. So
Let's maybe read it first, and then we can talk about what they mean. What do you say?
all right. Do you want to read?
Sure. So, rags to riches. Jane has come a long way in her career. At the moment, she is the front runner for an important promotion at work. Jane says it is both her work ethic and her positive attitude that put her ahead of the pack at her workplace. Jane grew up in a poor family, so her success is a true rags to riches story. Jane admits that it feels great to move up in the world and have more money and status, but she also believes that her greatest achievement is her courage. Her confidence has grown in leaps and bounds over the past several years. Whether she becomes the top dog at work or not, Jane feels she has achieved her own version of success. Way to go, Jane.
Absolutely. So let's see. So guys, when you come a long way, basically it means I love this. I love it actually. It's one of my favorite phrases. You start from nothing and you basically you're a success
Really
story now.
advance. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Front runner, how would you explain that, Christine?
In a race, the person in the front or the first person is the leader, is the winner. So the front runner is like the top candidate in a race or in a competition.
Cool. I'm actually checking the meaning of rags to riches because I'm a bit unsure of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I've pulled up
I use that a lot. I mean, I've seen that a lot. I don't use it a lot, but maybe it's more common in the US because we're kind of a rags to riches country.
Okay. How would you describe it then?
So rag is like a cloth that you use to clean, right? You can also say someone who's in rags is like wearing really, really poor clothing, really, really low quality or cheap. So rags to riches is a way to describe that transition from being poor to being rich. So it's like you started at rags and you've ended up having riches or having lots of money, having lots of success.
That's a nice description. Okay. Ahead of the pack is basically, guys, I think in layman's terms, just to kind of have an advantage over somebody. Like you're ahead of the pack.
I agree.
You have like a head of the pack would be like a head start, I think, as a synonym. Ahead of the pack. So we would say
the pack is like the group. So you're
so
in front of the group.
Exactly. Have an advantage. Interesting. Cool. Absolutely. Then we have move up in the world. So I'm presuming that would be like a promotion.
Definitely.
You know, you've moved up in the world.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a career promotion, Christine?
No.
Would you like? Would you like to? I don't know. Advance.
I've thought about it. I'm not really sure in the current like realm that I teach whether or not there's much room for moving up, but
maybe teacher trainer.
Maybe, yeah, something like that, or
especially with lower levels. I think that would be a good role.
Yeah, for sure. I also like creating materials.
Okay.
But anyhow, who knows? Who knows what the future holds?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That we have has grown.
Are you an ambitious person, Paul? Would you like to advance your career in the teaching realm?
I've thought about that. I think yes. I think it would be stupid to say no. I would be interested in maybe. I've always asked this question. Would I like to be a DOS? The answer is no, because I'm too
Mm,
nervous. I would be. I think if the best position for me would be involved. I know that's such a boring answer, but involved in, like, maybe fundamental key decisions, but not
mm.
leading, because I know myself that as a teacher, I'm better having someone else's opinion and then kind of
Okay,
being like a
that's
team
fair.
player. So I always thought, like, would I like to be a DOS or a DOS or anything? No, because I wouldn't be capable. I get so attached
Mm,
to people. And for
mm.
example, if I was just say creating our timetable and I couldn't fit you in because and then I'm like, oh, Christina's a baby, or maybe we've another teacher called Joelle who's got kids. No, I couldn't do it. I don't have the strength, So I'm just happy just being a teacher, but being a team player and
Mm.
advancing. It's such a boring answer, but
No, no, I hear you. I hear you on that.
it's just too much pressure. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm not great at managing people.
Yeah.
I'm a good team player as well. I'm not the best at managing. So.
Yeah, I think that's where I fall down. Like, I think teaching wise, I could be useful, but in terms of managing people, out the window. It's my management skills are not good.
All right.
All right, leaps and
So
bounds.
yeah.
That's similar,
Mhm.
I think, to like
So
come along.
yeah, a leap is another way to say a bound is another way to
Mm,
say a jump, right? So
mm,
if her confidence has grown in leaps and bounds, it means she's made big jumps in her confidence or big increases, I guess.
mm. Very nice. And
So
then we have whether she becomes top dog. Top dog. Top dog.
so like the top person, top dog,
Yeah, I would associate
number
this. I
one.
would again. We're going back to this American British debate. I think these are more well top dog. I would associate it more with American English.
Hmm. Interesting.
We would say in Ireland he's the boss. Just the boss.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Um,
we use boss a lot as well.
oh, there's this British program that it reminds me of a certain phrase. It's called the Royal Family. Oh, it's wonderful. It's about a British family who basically are not the richest. I think they're based in Manchester. It's like an everyday soap. It's got
Hmm.
fantastic humor, guys. I highly recommend the Royal Family if you want to improve your English. And I think it was called the Queen of Sheba. I know this sounds it sounds completely random, but it was the grandmother in the relationship. Actually, Christine, you would love this show. It's got great humor. It's very.
I'll have to take a look. Yeah,
It's called The Royal Family, and
sounds great.
oh, it's brilliant. It's got really good British humor. I'm not a
For
big fan
sure.
of English TV, but I would highly recommend watching The Royal Family. I'm promoting that
Great.
now. But the acting
Great.
is. It's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The acting is just priceless.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Absolutely. So I recommend. So, guys, just a revision on this
Yeah,
long lesson. Thank you, Lavinia, for participating at the beginning. Thank
definitely.
you that we've actually somehow maintained 3 viewers, although they haven't really commented. So we hope that we helped you with some of the vocabulary of today.
Yeah, and you got to
So
listen to a chat about achievement, success, work ethic,
yeah, so just we have some
life.
vocabulary. Step out of your comfort zone, break barriers, achieve
Mm-hmm.
success,
Yeah. I
bounce
mentioned,
back.
yeah, also have a leg up on someone
Mm,
is to have an advantage over them.
mm.
Like being ahead of the pack, to have a leg up.
Exactly. To have
Um,
an advantage.
yeah. When you succeed from a very humble beginning, when you were very poor and then you become rich, you have a rags to riches story. And when you're the number one guy, you're the top dog.
Absolutely. So, guys, Thank you very much, Christine. It was actually really nice to
Yeah.
have a nice DMC conversation, expanding we're bonding even more. Have a nice
Even
day.
in quarantine. Yeah. Even in
Even in
lockdown.
quarantine. Ciao. Thanks,
You
guys.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.